Okay, for those of you that got to see me build this, you know this was probably one of my favorite builds in the past couple of years. Today we are discussing the HG ZZ Gundam. It's time for Gunpla Hangar After Report. What's going on, comrades? It's the Supreme Leader Kouldbayne here, and today, for After Report, we are going to discuss the HG ZZ Gundam. Now, this kit right here was probably one of my all-time favorite builds. It's in my top 10, just because of how easy it was to put together. It wasn't super difficult. Definitely gave me some good vibes putting it together. I will say that this kit stands pretty tall. I mean, you can see that my hands are there. Let's put a pair of nippers there beside it so you can kind of get a good idea. It's not a very small HG kit. Definitely a little bit bigger probably than the HG Grandpa Gundam, the RX-78. But I will say this, that the design of this kit is by far really superb, really great. Definitely feels like I'm looking at the Zeta from the anime. It's got some great little gimmicks here, some great little side pieces that do move around a little bit. You've got a lot of motion in this kit compared to like some other kits. But let's go ahead and take a look at it in detail here, guys. So the first thing I want to show off is you'll notice that there's some decal work on this kit, and I will say these decals were not a lot of fun to put together. That's one of the few complaints I have, is that the decals were there was a lot of extra work in those decals. You can kind of see that there are some decals inside of certain spots here, like in the vents, in some of the knee vents. There's none in these knee vents here. I have to paint those, but here you got them as well. It's got some decal work in there, and I think I lost a decal somewhere. I'm not sure. The backpack on this is a chunky one. This is a chunky kit, guys. You can see here there's more decals on the back there, just for the vents alone. Height-wise, it does stand pretty. It is a pretty stable kit. You can pose it pretty well. It is a little back-heavy though, so be careful when posing it. Again, you know, it has a pretty nice little lean to it. You can kind of lean it back a little bit. It will fall if you lean it too far back. Let's see. Does it do the one-leg challenge pretty well? Trying to get that one-leg challenge down, but I don't think it's going to work. It's not going to work, just because it's so top heavy. It is a top heavy kit. You almost have to like fold it forward a little bit. I don't think it's, yeah, it's just way top heavy, so it can't do one leg challenges, which are a TikTok thing, guys. If you haven't watched Gunpla TikTok, you won't understand that. But one of the cool things, like I said, is it does have a few gimmicky pieces here. I love this, and it has a transformation gimmick. We will discuss that a little bit later on. Color separation. Now this has got some great color separation to it, guys, and it's a really nice looking kit, really sturdy. It's a really sturdy kit too. Like, I can shake it and I don't feel like any of those parts are going to come loose if I shake it, and that was a pretty hefty shake. Unlike the Zeta, the hip itself here, the waistline, is very secure. The Zeta build, as you saw in my previous review, that waistline would come off super easy. This is actually held on pretty well. It comes with several different accessories to choose from here, including, let me go through my box of stuff here. We have this amazing beam rifle. Let's see, this is the beam cannon, the hyper beam, or double beam rifle. Double beam rifle, sorry, I'm trying to remember the names of things here. It has the double beam rifle, which is a just mega piece here. Like, that is really huge, really weird looking design too. Everything folds in pretty well though. I mean, you know, you can seriously fold everything up and turn this into its flight mode capabilities. Everything folds up well. Everything kind of turns and twists and does all that. It's got great mobility for, you know, a weapon of its kind. There's very few of these weapons like this that, you know, you get to see. It has the foil sticker here as well for the lens. Just a great design for a weapon. Like I said, kind of an odd design, but, you know, not in a bad way. It did utilize a sticker here, which I feel was a little bit overkill, because, I mean, you're not going, it doesn't go all the way up. It stops right here. That's kind of a weird one for me. But it comes with that. We do get some beam sabers that are on the back here, and these are probably some of the biggest beam sabers I've seen on an HG kit. But here's our beam saber, guys. As you can see, it's almost the size of the complete suit, which is it's actually bigger than the suit a little bit, but just a very nice looking beam saber, guys. Just really well detailed. Not hard to put together. There is a little bit of runner leavings here. I got to get new nippers. That's gonna drive me nuts. I got to clean that real quick. But you can see that there's a lot of undergating left in this kit. It is an older kit, so undergating is going to be a lot bigger issue than you do get with your newer kits. However, that beam saber does kind of give you an idea of what you're looking at there. Now, I don't know how it holds the beam saber in regards, but we do get a couple of hands here. Like I don't know, how does it hold the beam saber in the mechanic here? I gotta look at the picture here, look at the details here of it holding a beam saber. I think it actually holds the beam saber in a different way. I'm looking to see if I can find where I built the beam sabers. Okay, it just slides into this open hand here. This hand here is your beam saber hand. Bending wise, the arm is only going to bend so much because of these fins here, these shields that you have. However, that's not a terrible thing for me. I'm fine with that because this kit really does come with a lot of good accessories here. Like I said, we get the rifle, we get an amazing little core fighter that you start off building. That's the first piece that you build, is the core fighter. That core fighter is utilized in the transformation as well. As you can see here, posability wise, it has some great joint movement here. We've got really good posable joints. They're not terribly loose. One shoulder over here is a little bit loose compared to like the other one, and I don't know whether it's just poor jointing or just from wear and tear of putting it together. One of the cool things I did see here, though, and I want to show this off, is this backpack with rocket launchers. You've got the double rocket launchers, or double missile launchers there. Really cool looking. I like that. You could probably paint these a little bit to look a little more realistic, but they do close super easy. I had some problems getting that together, and I found out why. I put them in backwards originally, so that may have kind of messed up my build a little bit. But again, you get two beam sabers with it. You get these nice, pretty cool jets on the backpack here. The suit itself is very flexible. Like I said, you get a range of motion here that you would normally get with these kits. It does, however, get limited by the hip pads here. They do. Oh no, they do move out. Okay, yeah. So you got a very good range of like playability with this kit here. Your legs do have a pretty good bend here, so you can pose it in multiple different ways. You can pose it, doing this kind of number here, which is really cool. I like these knees here, this knee armor, that's really cool. But yeah, so it's got a pretty strong waist too. Like I said, that waist is very, very well detailed, very well sculpted, so it doesn't like lose its playability there. I mean, over time it probably will, but not right off the rip. You don't lose any of that playability there, which is kind of normal for some kits. Again, the shoulders do get a little loose with movement, so just be mindful of that. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this about the build itself. The build itself was not difficult. Definitely one of the easier kits that I've had to build. These shoulders I like because you can pose them in several different ways. Head turn, where our head turn is limited by the neck here and by this little neck seal here that they have. Again, that was something that later suits kind of used and all that. But again, another issue is the head design itself compared to, like, say the HG Zeta or the HG Gundam or some of the other kits that use the polycap for the neck. This used instead like a joint, a separate joint. Let's see if I can take that off. I might be wrong about that though. I think, yep, that's the actual joint itself. Lifting it up does help. However, that can, oh yeah, that seemed to do the trick. Okay, so I must have had it in there too far. It does have pretty good turnability. Again, you have to kind of tilt the head a little more just to get the look. but not a bad looking, not a bad kit to begin with. You know, this one's not loose at all. There's not too many loose parts. Again, shoulders are probably my weakest joints here. Other than that, it's got some really good detail. Detail on the feet is pretty much your standard Gundam detailing on the feet there. My camera will focus on it. It's going crazy today, but there you can see right there, there's a good little bit of detail. Well, you could see that, and then it just stopped focusing. Again, my camera's got a mind of its own today, guys. I apologize, but let's see. I'm trying to get it to focus on everything but on anything on the feet, and it's just not wanting to focus on them. We'll bring those a little closer. Maybe that'll get the focus. There we go. So you can see there that the feet have some pretty good detail there, and you can also see my terrible cutting. Again, the undergating on this kit was a little bit much, but yeah, that's the kit in a nutshell, guys. That's the base kit. Let's go ahead and talk about the transformation gimmick. So the first thing you'll notice is they give you your pretty thick manual here. This manual is pretty cool in the fact that it's a staple manual versus like a foldable manual. Wow, that sounds weird. Manual. It kind of caught me off guard, but you see that I've got some staples in there. That's really cool. There's your transformation gimmick here, guys, and I mean, look at it. That's a really great detailed transformation. It does have several different stages that you can transform it into, but again, it's not a terrible transformation. It doesn't look hard. So let's go ahead and play around with that transformation here. So after a little bit of finagling, guys, here's our second core fighter here, our second fighter piece. Now mind you, this is not the complete kit. What we will do now is we're going to take the fighter off. The core fighter itself now breaks apart. These are going to fold downward like that. And then finally what we'll do is we're going to take this piece, which seems to have turned at some point. I don't know. Something doesn't feel right there with that, but that could be just everything falling apart like always. It seems like this is like really harder to do than it should be for me, and I guess it's just me. It's probably just me, to be honest. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take all of the parts that we put together here. Okay. Now we're going to turn these up a little bit. And then that's going to go out like that. That's where I had it wrong. It was like that. And there you go, guys. That is the full transformation of the kit from several different types of core fighters there. Again, a really nice design and fighter here. They do tell you that you can change out certain pieces for standing it. They do give you an optional stand piece here to put underneath it, so that it can hold the kit on a stand. That's really cool. But yeah, so that was the transformation, guys, and really it's not a hard transformation. It's a little bit of a tedious transformation, and some of the parts don't sit perfectly together. But that is a huge fighter there, and I like the design of this. This definitely gives me some, like, I could definitely see myself painting this to look like the Ragnarok from Final Fantasy VIII, because it gives me that kind of vibe there. But yeah, so that's the kit, and that's the transformation in a nutshell for this kit, guys. It's literally a several step transformation. You can transform it in several different ways to have several different several different fighter modes here, because you can have this. Well, that came apart. You could have the top half fighter. You can have the bottom half fighter, and then everything kind of transforms back together, into one solid fighter. But it is, I will say that the parts are a little loose on there, so just be careful when handling it. But yeah, let's go ahead and get it back to its actual Gundam state here for the final discussion. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today's review. Here again is the Double Zeta Gundam. As you can see, just a really nice kit altogether. Transformation was a little bit difficult to do, but not too terrible. I was able to get it transformed back within a matter of like 3 minutes or so after doing the transformation, which took me a little bit over like 14 minutes to do, just starting out, just because it's a lot to take apart and a lot to put together. But still, a wonderful kit. Definitely recommend this kit, and it's not an expensive one either. I think I paid like $25 for this, so go snag you this kit if you can get it. The only complaints I do have are that the decals are a little bit of a pain to get onto their parts. There were some just excessive decals that really didn't need to be used, and some of the parts are a little loose. But then again, that's just, I chalk that up just to you know, wear and tear on the kit, and to how many times I had to go back and correct something that I was doing probably. But anyway, this is a wonderful kit, guys. Definitely go snag you the Double Zeta. But that's it for today's video. Thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all can follow me on all of my social medias. There's a link tree in the description below that'll take you there, as well as to my merch shop. Go check out my wonderful sponsor, Dubby. Dubby makes some amazing energy drinks that I use during my Gunpla builds to help kind of keep me focused, keep me going, and keep me steady, so that while I'm working I can actually build properly and not feel like I'm getting the jitters while, you know, trying to keep my focus. But yeah, go snag you some W and use coupon code Kouldbayne at checkout to get you 10% off your purchase from my wonderful sponsor. But anyway, comrades, that's it for today's video. I want to thank y'all so much for watching. Much love, and das vidanya.